Finally, we get to the corn patch. Wow, how are you today? How has your week been so far? So good for me. I had a lovely weekend. Took a break at least from doing so many things and just relaxing. It was also a day of worship. So we start another week as we continue growing in the garden. And I think I've never given you an update of my corn. So finally today you get to see the corn. So I have like how many spaces with corn? This is one. There's two, three. There's a fourth one. The next block. Wow, I've got five. Like five. So today I just want to work on something here. Then we need to do some. We need to start some seeds again. And remember, we are also to do some companion planting, the different beds. So let's get started. Let's get working so that at least I can give you like a nice update, take you around the beds to see what is happening. How are you today? Say hi, say hi. The live chat and in the comment section. Let's get working in the garden. So I need my screw so that we can start working here as I update you on what has been going on in the garden. So let me get my screw. Wow, so how many days now? The 50 days for our corn. Then I've got I planted popcorn and the other normal corn. Maybe I have to get the spade also. I got my screw today so fast. The ground seems hard. By the way, it has not rained for like 3 days now. Today it looks cloudy. Perhaps we may get some rains at night or maybe tomorrow. Hoping we do get some good rain, not just the drizzling. Because the drizzling is not doing much. Look at the ground, it is dry. So I did some little watering today. And now what I want to do, you see that my ground is like bare in between. So in between, I want to like plant something else to act like a cover. But then I will take you to the patch where I have the beans that have formed a really nice cover. Because when you get a nice cover, at least I get to conserve water, to stop water loss by evaporation. So that's what I want to do to many different beds that I have. Just do some dense planting, even all around the garden. If I can have like dense planting, I won't have an issue about watering. At the moment, you see, if it does not rain, I can afford at least to get some deep watering once a week. So let me bring the spade because I need to, like, what I'm doing, I want to soften the ground. It's like airing the ground. Because now by doing that, the soil is compacted at the moment. When the soil is compacted, it means also the activity of the microorganisms is not at its prime. If they can access good oxygen, you're actually not disturbing them because you are not going deep. It's just lifting the top to ensure that the oxygen can go in so that to create a good environment for the microorganisms. Let me bring the spade. See where the spade is inside here. Yes, got it. And by the way, today we have more sunflowers. We have more sunflowers that have opened up, so it's looking beautiful. So I'm really not going deep, just lifting the surface. And even this is good. If it rains, the water is able to penetrate. And there's black nightshade that is growing right here. The ground is hard. Look at how hard it is, huh? I need to adjust this so that you can see where I'm working. So for this patch, when I planted the corn, I just did direct sowing. There are some patches. You remember the corn that we started, actually that was popcorn, that we started using the seedling trays. I will take you to where it is. Actually for that one, you can notice that it is tasty. So I'll show you. This one I just did some direct sowing and it was so fast. So I need to come back and do add something else to act as a cover crop. Look at how hard the ground is. Red. So when you soften it like this, then I've got some small chilies that's on the side here. As I'm giving the updates, I will show you. So we soften it like that. Now this side, also let me adjust. The lighting. Much better. Let me just move my screw so that I don't start looking for it. It doesn't get lost in everything. Then on the edges here, I'm thinking of doing like a nice stander, because now if I can be able to capitalize also on something vertical, I'll be able to grow more in a small space, and then it will also cover the area. So I'm still thinking of what to plant here. Sure I don't get to the leaves. The leaves are overflowing just like the sugarcane in containers. See whether I can work from this side also. And by the way, our chili now, like we are up to 50% that have turned color. So soon we should be harvesting some chili again. I've been harvesting the green, but you know the green you cannot harvest so many because you can't store them for long unless I get a dryer. That I can use to just preserve. What I get from the garden, I cannot harvest so many green chilies. But for the red, I still have lots of red chili in the kitchen that we need to roast, by the way, one of these nights. So I'm so happy we've been able to work on a lot of things, and you've seen like good progress in the garden just by creating some time. So I have to be careful not to get to the leaves, just softening, lifting the soil. So this helps to really air the soil, and it's creating like a good environment. Because for those people who have like heavy mulching, you'll notice that their soil does not get that compacted because it doesn't dry out. They have blocked, stopped that water loss by evaporation. So it means their soil does not compact. But now my soil is at least just to change everything that is going on in the garden. That's why I want to do the, like, start more seeds so that when you harvest, I plant more and fill it completely so that my ground can be covered really well. If I manage to cover my ground well and we get heavy rains, it means that I will not lose a lot of water due to the high heat in this area. Then also, if the ground is well covered with useful, like beneficial crops, there's like minimal space for lots of weeds to spring up. So there are so many benefits. Of just keeping the cycle going on and on and on. So I think I have yes, looking nice. So I want to cover this area. I have some cowpea seeds. I don't know whether the bean seeds there. I don't think I have lots of bean seeds, but I have cowpea seeds, which I can come plant. I can just do direct sowing right here. By the way, let me just create the lines, do some direct sowing, then I can move on. Then because for the bean seeds I don't have so many, but the beans I planted, by the way, I'm taking you to the patch. You will see that the beans have formed the pods. So the pods are still filling up. They are becoming bigger. I will show you. So let me get the cowpea seeds, because for the cowpeas, I won't even wait for the cowpeas. I will enjoy the fresh greens. And remember, I also have okra and I have like jute mallow. I have wild jute mallow. For the wild jute mallow, we've harvested quite a number of times. Now, if I have the cowpea, fresh cowpea leaves, I have jute mallow, I have onions, I have tomatoes. So like I can cut the garden and do some good shopping. So let me get the cowpea seeds and show you. We just do some direct sowing here very fast, then we move on, because I told you we have like 5 different patches of corn. So today I get to see an update of all the corn I have in the garden. The cowpeas will be able to cover this area so well, because I'm going to do what would you call, It's not one seed per hole, it's like dense, so that it can cover the ground. Those are the cowpea seeds I have. So at least you can maximize the use of the the water to fall in this area. So what I'm going to do, no, I didn't go that deep. It's still hard, Yeah. This. I still want to do beans on the other side. Then for the cowpeas, 3 weeks. By the time we get to the 90, I know we'll be having the cowpeas. I still want to add beans on the other side. So for the cowpeas, I'll just add it to this edge. Then I can look for the bean seeds. So just make a line like that. So that once they grow, they cover the area well. So even if it rains and if the cowpeas has covered the area, a lot of water will seep in, so my corn will be safe without the need of lots of heavy watering. So let me adjust this. It might rain, by the way. It might rain. I start from this side. So it is not one seed per hole. This is like dense, and if you're planting cowpeas for the cowpeas, you cannot plant them like this. This is for this method, it's only if you want to enjoy the fresh leaves. Otherwise, if you try doing it like this and you leave them all that you want to eat, the leaves will actually, you'll just see them turning yellow because of the competition. They are too close together. But if you want the fresh green cowpea leaves that are so nutritious, that's the method, the best method to use. Place it here. Whatever is left over, I'll just return it to the pack. like that. That's enough, huh? Let me try and see if I can give a... Yes, sir. So this is like dense planting. So many seeds, huh? Close together. You see? But then you can only do this if you want if you are planting the cowpeas for the fresh leaves. So right there. To the end there. So I've been able to soften, to at least loosen the soil. I think a better term to use is loosen the soil. Then I also came and I was just spraying some ash on the leaves. Ash is also good. I use it for like pest control. I have lots of DIY methods in the garden. So you'll notice that on some leaves, you will see some ash. This is ash. So on this side, now once I've planted like that, what is left is just to do covering. And usually, it is just slight like that. If they are too deep, and with our little watering here, you can fail to get your seeds coming up strong. So as long as I've covered them and they're out of sight from the birds. By the way, these ones are treated seeds. If you use the non-treated seeds, like the ones in my seed bank, and then you don't cover them well, just know the birds are going to enjoy. So like that. Hey. Once I cover them, what is left is watering. And it looks like it may rain tonight. That is why it is so windy. If it rains, it will be good. So let me set you first, then I finish, because I'm trying to do it with one hand. It's a lot of exercise. at night. Lots of exercise at night. Cover it like that. So I want us to move to a different patch. See how it was wise to just loosen the soil. Ooh, it becomes so easy to just cover the seeds. So definitely I will give you an update once they come up, but I will not bring the water right now. I want us to move to, I want to show you another patch before the lights decide that, because I'm so deep in the garden, so far from the socket. So I'm using solar. So before the lights decide otherwise, I want us to move. Okay, I've moved my spade, so we move this other side. These ones look even much bigger than the others. So this is the second patch. But then here, I do have some beans. Let me try and lift this so that you see. I have some beans here, and there are not many plants. There are not so many plants here. Where did I put my screw sleeves? So let me check whether, okay, we have, but then we have some pods that we can harvest. The first few pods that we can harvest. So let me just soften, loosen the soil, then I show you. And it is Here it was not even like a planned patch. It's just that I wanted to cover this area. It was open before I do any other transplanting, because it is so close to the orange tree. I've got like just a few oranges. I'm hoping if it rains so that the flowering can kick in and I may get some more oranges. So here I've got beans. I want to bring you closer so that you see the beans. Huh? There are some pots that are brown actually. They have dried, some are still green. So I was planting here just to cover the area. So if I soften it, lift it up like that, soften the ground, loosen it, at least the microorganisms get a good environment. If the microorganisms are happy, it means my plants can take up the nutrients they need and become strong. There's not much space to work with here. Let me see if I can show you the beans. You can see some of the leaves are yellow right there, because some of them have got, look at that. Let me just pull this one up. See that? So I was looking for more beans to plant. And the way I love zero cost seeds. Look at that. So some of the leaves are yellow because the beans are ready. I think we should open one to see. What we get. Beans are super useful just as a cover, because you don't even have to wait for them to like dry up like this. It is hard because some parts are still green. You can harvest like let's see. Let us see what we get. Wow, look at that. Yeah. So when we were working on that other corn patch, I was telling you that I don't think I have lots of beans to plant. Look at this. So I have more beans. I think I will just like remove so that I put this back inside the, like I plow it back into the soil. Beans are super helpful in just fixing nitrogen, but then sometimes if the temperatures are too high, if there's water stress, they can fail to fix the nitrogen because the nodules can fail to form. Let's see. Look at this root. Let's see whether we can. Let me put the beans aside. Let me put them aside, then I'll show you. Let's put them on the plates. So the nodules usually form on the roots, like an association with the bacteria, the rhizobium, and they are now, that action, they are responsible for fixing nitrogen. But if your roots, you don't notice any nodules, like this, then it means the beans did not fix any nitrogen. I'm trying to just study it closer to see whether this is just soil. This is not. Like you'd easily notice some spots on the roots that are swollen. But now this one does not have. It means that sometimes beans can fail to fix nitrogen. So you can't like assume all the time that you've planted beans and they fixed nitrogen. So for this one, I don't think there's any nitrogen fixing that was going on while it was growing, because I can't see the nodules. So we'll have to, like, next time when I'm getting some more beans, we'll study the roots again to see whether they do have nodules and whether they fixed some nitrogen. Because here, I don't think there's any nitrogen that was fixed. So sometimes, once you harvest like this one, I just put it back into the soil. I just plow it back in the same place where I removed it. I just cover it with soil. So at least my soil gets the nitrogen, which was the first, like the intention of planting the beans close to the maize, so that at least it can fix the nitrogen. So sometimes a better argument would be, at least the beans are covering the ground and reducing water loss by evaporation. Some more beans there. These ones I'm going to replant them. By the way, there's a time I harvested for the groundnuts I have in containers. I harvested few groundnuts, and now I have like is it more than 5 containers with groundnuts from the few seeds I have. I harvested. I harvested just a few groundnut seeds the first time. Replanted them. Now I have more than 5 containers with groundnuts. I've never given like a good update. Soon we'll have to get to the groundnuts as we continue. Look at that. Wow. This is nice, one fell. Where did it fall? It's so dark. It is so dark. So once you harvest your beans and these leftovers, by the way, these dry covers, the beans, the dry parts, once you harvest it, they're like super efficient when you want to make biochar. They are so good. So one use would be to make some biochar. Like you add them. The last time I did a video on biochar, I added these remains. I added the maize cobs, the remains, and I made some biochar. Now, besides making the biochar, this one I'll just put it back in, so that at least, because I know there was no nitrogen fixing here. You can't see any nodules, but I've gotten the beans. And then I've harvested the beans. So I've harvested, it's like I've taken the nutrients. You know, every time you harvest the crops, you like take the nutrients from the ground. You keep on mining and mining and mining the ground. So this one, I don't even take it back to the compost. I'll just put it back into the ground. Now, where is my screw? This screw. This issue with the screw. Why does it like disappearing? And I had it right here. Now, good thing, I have just loosened the soil. Now, that's the benefits. So I hope you can see what I'm doing right here. So I've just loosened the soil. I'm just going to put it right back here. And just put some soil, push some soil over it, like that. So like that, I know I've enriched my soil. It will break down. The worms will come, and those beneficial insects that usually do a good job just breaking down the organic matter. So by doing that, I've restored like nitrogen, because we did not see any nodules. So that one did not fix any. I don't know if there's some more. Let's see whether I can get some more to harvest. There are some dry ones here. Let me see if let me just pull the pods. Some are still green, by the way. So let me just pull the pods that are brown. Then the tendrils are attached. Got some more. Look at this. So from these few bean seeds, I can cover a very large area. I just replant them. Look at this. So these covers, I have to put them back in. Let me see if I can get the roots. Let me first harvest. This is nice. Some are still green. Just put it down there, then and this one does not have the rich color like the other one that we harvested. Put the cover down. So the covers, you just throw it back there anytime you harvest beans. Just make sure you try my method of just blowing back the covers, the remains, so that at least you can say truly there is nitrogen that you have added to the soil. There's a time I harvested the green. These seeds are not looking good. So this one, just put it back. So for the covers again, I've already loosened the soil. So I just cover it like that. So I don't know whether I can get the roots. The beans have tendrils, so they've attached itself to the other ones, and some are not dry. Some are not dry. So we'll pull that root. We'll pull that root the coming night. Now, we still have like how many more? I have like 2 more patches to show you. And I still need to work on them. Then we are going to study our beans. And I promised, now the time is far much gone. Let me just show you the beans. Then we can work on it. So the seeds we've harvested, those are the beans. These ones I will just let them dry, because I know the beans I have I have few seeds, just a few seeds. So I have more to replant. I want to take it where I have the, just before we go, just before we go, because I promised to show you. Also here, look at that. But then I told you the chili is like 50% now. It is now maturing. And these are the new trees. The old tree there and this other side. There are some other beans we're going to harvest. This is just, by the way, this is a volunteer. But you see it has, you see the pods there. They are well filled. They are well filled. That is chili. This is, now I wanted to just show you this before I move. Oh, and by the way, we need more rain, we need more rain. We need more rain. Now, this is what I wanted to show you. You see the way the beans have covered this area so nicely, and you can see the tendrils that I'm talking about. Like that. So, and then you can always harvest beans even before they dry. You don't have to wait for them to dry. And then they cover the area so nicely. Here I didn't have lots of corn. Here it is mostly the beans. The corn is, there's more corn there. And then there's another patch that we'll work on later. But then you see, there they've covered the ground so well. So if I replant the few seeds, because my ground is still bare, so bare, I'll be doing good as we keep on at least creating time to come to the garden after a day's work. Well, that is it for this night. Now, we've not worked on the other corn. I've not shown you. Now, oh, the time goes so fast, huh? But at least I've been able to show you the corn patch. I've never given you an update, a good one, of the time we started. Now today you have seen the corn, you have seen some beans, and we've done some planting of the cowpeas. So I will do some watering, and then catch me live again for 90 nights 57. And that is bye.